Good morning, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. And today we'll be talking about the Oracle. No, not like in the Matrix. But we're talking about the stock Oracle because I believe that you can definitely make some money off this particular stock. So let's get ready for this. Let's talk about this stock. And I'm going to be comparing this stock with other stocks that I believe that it's in slight comparison of this particular stock, but I don't believe that these stocks can actually compare with Oracle. I've been looking at the analysis and the historical statistics of it, and a lot of you going to compare this stock to Intel as well as Cisco. Well, let me tell you, there's really no comparison when it comes to Oracle in comparison to Intel or these other ones that may somewhat. Yes, as well as Cisco. Sorry about that. Got some feedback, but let's get into the broadcast here. Let's get into the stock review because I think that this stock in your portfolio, if you don't have like a chip maker, if you don't have a semiconductor maker that does in cloud computing as well, then this one be very, very profitable for you and in the future. Now, as I'm looking at the financials here on Robinhood, I'm looking at the sustainable growth, okay? And I'm going to show you my screen here. I'm still setting up somewhat. I do apologize for me being slightly behind here, okay? But with that being said, I'm looking at the course over here for the past 5 years, and what I'm looking at is that it's been up 131% the past year, almost 52% the past 3 months. 15%, as we noticed, the stock market in the past month has been going down. In the past month, only 2%. The past week, 6%. And then today in the pre-market, we're looking at roughly about 0.62. Okay. Now, for you guys who are not familiar with Oracle, you should be. It's a large conglomerate cloud and chip company. It says in the provision of the products and services that addresses all aspects of corporate information technology environment. It operates through the following business segments: that's cloud and licensing, hardware and services, and it goes on to say a lot other things like software, operating systems, visualization, advanced support, etc. Okay. Now, for a lot of you who are not familiar with Oracle, just like the Silicon Valley companies, a lot of these companies were settled. They were started off in California. Now, if you guys are not aware of this, Oracle as well as Tesla, but Oracle said no. We're not just going to move. We're going to move to Austin, Texas, where the real estate is cheaper. There's a booming market for technology. We can get more bang for our buck out there in Texas. So a lot of companies, and believe me, where I live at, the real estate is booming, not just because of the pandemic, because of companies like Oracle and Tesla are moving here. Now, if you're not familiar with the new building, for you guys who live in Austin or around the area who are even thinking about moving to Texas, and you're into IT, let me tell you, the campus is beautiful. Okay, the buildings are state of the art. I'm just showing you a rundown here. Okay, so again, Oracle is doing big things, and I'm just again tantalizing you here, teasing you a little bit with some of the things that they're doing. This is in Texas. Okay, but as we get back to the financials of it all, yes, this stock as well has dividends. Now, these dividends compared to a stock price of $89. And again, ladies and gentlemen, can I make sure that you see this? Because a lot of you guys get deterred, like, I don't want to buy a stock that's $89. Okay, so on Robinhood as well as WeBull and some other robo investing platforms, you see here you have an option to buy a share, right? That's going to cost you the entirety of $90, $89.97. But what I like about these platforms, you can invest in fractions, okay? So you can just hit dollars. I can invest $5 inside this stock if I want. Then it gives you a quantity estimate of that amount that you invested, that you will own 0.055574 of this particular share. Now, again, don't even let that deter you, because again, when they make money, you make money. When the volume of their stocks decrease, the volume of your profit increase. So that's the way it works in tandem. So don't let that deter you at all. And again, this stock has dividends at 1.25%. And we'll get into what that equals out to. It also states here where Oracle stands with analysis, blah, blah, blah. Here's the analyst rating of 28 analysts here on Robinhood. It says buy at 21%, hold at around 68%, and then sell at 10.7. And believe me, if you notice, holding it and buying it is a lot larger than selling it. Now, the bulls are saying, I'm gonna go with the bulls because the hold is higher than the sell. The Oracle, relational database should be able to post strong growth as customers continue to depend on its quality features, such as data partitioning, which brings incomparable load balancing efficiencies. It says Oracle's autonomous database was built with ease of use in mind, which could bring a significant base of first-time Oracle users to the company, strengthening top-line results. Oracle stake, listen to this. This is very important, family. I'm blowing it up. Oracle stake in TikTok. Yeah, Oracle stake in TikTok. You're talking about an IT company that deals in hardware, software, cloud computing, chip making, and some sorts of the matter with programming. And now they're getting into social media. So now they're kind of branching off into other markets. What I'm noticing is a lot of companies like Amazon. Amazon said, we deal in e-commerce, but we're an IT company. There's a lot of banks saying, oh, we are an IT company that happens to bank. So a lot of people are getting into IT. They're an IT company now getting into social media, which makes them very, very relevant, okay? It says here that Oracle stake in TikTok Global and cloud services TikTok U.S. operations should add a significant boost to Oracle's top line and attract more general use cloud consumers, okay? Here are their quarterly earnings. We see that fiscal one of this year was doing very well. They predicted a drop down in fiscal one. Now, here there are some of the comparisons, Cisco Systems as well as Intel. So one of the most popular out of these three, we know Intel, and already you guys are looking at the price. But let me dial back a little bit here. I understand that the Oracle per share is about $90, right? But let's look at the consistency, okay? The only thing you see here, even in a down market, you see Oracle still doing very, very well, okay? You see the green, you see the percentages. Now let's come over to Oracle. They have been actually hurting, ladies and gentlemen. 5 years, they've been up only around 46% compared to Oracle's in the past 5 years, 131%. The past year, they've been up only 10%. The past 3 months, down 4%, down 0.23%. The past week, they went up 1%. And then today, they're down, okay? So again, I'm just going to give you a quick synopsis, a quick snapshot of what's going on. And that doesn't mean that Intel won't bounce back, because Intel will. And it looks as though that the dividends with Intel is a little bit larger. But when it comes to the stock price in comparison, I did a video a long time ago. How do you do the math behind computing the stock price with someone's dividends? And even at 2.53%, as we see right here, of the dividends, you may think that's going to be a lot, but it's not. It's still going to be under $1, okay? Just as well as Oracle. Now, another one that you may compare it to is Cisco Systems, okay? Cisco Systems has been up in the past 5 years around 82%. Now, again, comparing to Oracle, we're still at 130. So historically, they've been doing better. In the past year, Cisco has been up around 50% the past 3 months. 7% the past month, down 5% the past week, up 0.5%, and then today they've been down anywhere around 0.10. So for you guys who are not familiar with Cisco Systems, you should be familiar with Cisco Systems. They deal with a lot of computing and network and routers and modems and such, and security, okay? I won't get into that. Let's scroll down just a little bit. Now, they have strong buy ratings, as you can tell, and I believe that Cisco System is a good buy. The buy is at 57%, hold at 40%, and then sell is around 3%, okay? So again, a lot of these stocks I'm showing you right here could be better long-term, but I know a lot of you guys get deterred when you see high stock prices, and I just want to encourage you, never look at the stock price in today's market, because even in Tesla, you can invest $5, $10. Some of you, I understand, you want shares on top of shares on top of shares. It's accumulative. Set it on a recurring investment, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You can start to accumulate them shares over the course of time. Let me move on, because here's what makes Oracle, in my opinion, futuristically just a little bit more valuable, a little more profitable over the course of time. Don't forget they're in business with TikTok, and we know how big TikTok is, okay? Keep that in mind. Now, with that being said, they also took and accumulated all the business for Telefonica. That's right, Telefonica. Let me get you the story very quickly here. It says Telefonica to migrate systems onto the cloud in deal with Oracle. And this just happened September 27th. That is today. This story is very, very new today. And it says here, Spain's Telefonica signed a multi-year deal with cloud service provider Oracle to migrate most of its database systems to the cloud. The firm said on Monday in preparation for the use of 5G and Internet of Things. It states that the telecoms operator, which already uses Oracle data systems, will transfer them. Now, listen, they already use the Oracle data system. Now they're about to use the Oracle cloud system. So essentially, they're already accumulating, they're already soaking up Telefonica's market share and using them. And Telefonica is using Oracle solely for all of their IT needs. We will transfer them to a fully cloud-based platform supporting its internal and commercial operation, including business intelligence services and billing revenue and customer management products. See, that's where we kind of get lost in the sauce when we just like, oh, it's just an IT company. No. Oracle is actually handling Telefonica's billing, revenue, and customer management products, and also business intelligence services. So essentially, they're the backing for the entire company of Telefonica, which is out of Madrid, Spain. Okay, so there, of course, that also tells you the international. So Oracle's a large company. They're doing a lot of great things with their brand. So I know you want to kind of get in. You're like, yeah, I can really see me buying a share or two of the Intel or the Cisco system. But again, I don't want you to look at stock price. I want you to look at your future investments and the profit that you can actually make off the money that you invest. Now, going over to Market Watch, we see that in the past year or year to date, right, it's been about 40%. And the analysts here are saying, hold your shares. Me, as I look at the ratings on the different platforms, I'm going to buy some shares. The EPS, this indicator let you know that this company is operating out of profit. Anytime you see a negative here, that means they're in debt, but you see they're doing very, very well. The dividends are measly, as I talked about before. So we see how that's looking. And it also says that the Oracle Corporation stock outperformance market on strong trading day. Okay. So they're doing very well, to say the least bit. I'm going over to Yahoo Finance. It tells you in the short term, you see the midterm, as they predicted that the market was going to go down. See, here's the thing. I don't know if you guys are aware. Historically, for the past like 30 years, around September, most stocks tank. And there's a reason behind that. Okay, that's another day for another video. But historically, if you go back and you look at majority of the stocks on the stock market, doesn't matter the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ or the S&P and 500, or in September, they historically start to draw back. And I'll give you one indicator. One indicator is to allow you to let you know that people start to reserve their cash because of the holiday season. October, you got Halloween, November, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then of course the new year. So a lot of these people start to subconsciously start to retrieve and retract and save their money for the holiday season. This to give you some analysis there. Now, long term, we're looking at this stock to go up in the next 9 months plus. Then I want to come down here and I want to show you something very quickly. Now, the analysts are still consistent across the board. We see that here, the rating for September is buy and strong buy. Okay, the rating for September is buy and strong buy. As we can tell from June, July, we had it at a hold. In August, we had it at a strong hold. And now for September, that midpoint was a buy with a 10 strong buy radius. Okay, so again, they're telling you buy, 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 buy. Now, the problem about this is I do not believe that this stock is overvalued. So I disagree with Yahoo when it comes to being overvalued. I do not agree. Now, going over to CNN Business, they had the stock forecast of this stock going up to $115. Okay, $115. And even look, it says right here the median is 89. And guess where it is, ladies and gentlemen? It's at 89, if not 90. So as we look at that, it's staying true to the statistics and information that's out there on a particular stock. So we're looking at in the course of the next 12 months, the stock is going to go up, let's see, about $25, which is worth it because you also have to include those dividends. Now, going over to Zacks too is saying that this is a hold. And the style scores are saying B for value, B for growth, F for momentum, and B for VGM. Now, a lot of times when we're looking at these analytics from different platforms, it depends on when these guys actually report the information because in my opinion, okay, in my professional, unprofessional opinion, that Oracle momentum should be a B when according to Zacks, but Zacks have their own ratings, okay? Now, what else is important? What are the partners that Oracle has? Now, if you notice, Telefonica is not on here just yet, but they will. But some people may know of these certain platforms and or organizations, like you have the San Francisco State University. You have that on here. You have Argent Energy. Some people may be familiar with that because Argent supposedly reduces the Earth's carbon footprint with Oracle Cloud. And then you have one of the largest companies that in partnership with Oracle is Cisco. It says performance for Cisco iteration increases 60 times on the Oracle platform. I'm not too familiar with the Scottish Water and the Casey's Gaines data, but these are just some companies, okay? These are just some companies that are in business with Oracle. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that you should go over. If you don't have a cloud computer, IT, chip making, cloud-based software that deals in business revenue, all the things that they do, okay? If you don't have it, go ahead and start a recurring investment so you can build on your portfolio. Again, 5, 10, 15 bucks, whatever you have, $100 a month, doesn't matter. If you have it, you should invest it because if you don't invest it, you know you're going to spend it and blow it. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. You guys have a great and wonderful day. I see you guys on the next one. I'm out.